Hey, Jerry Stevenson, Chief Redneck in charge of the Redneck BBQ Lab in East Crossroads in Benson, North Carolina. Today, here at RBL Studios to show you guys how to make a traditional North Carolina barbecue sauce at your home, much like we do at the lab. If you guys love this video, please go down there, click on that like button, subscribe to the channels, click on that bell for notifications for future videos coming out of this series. Share this with your friends. Let's spread this gospel of barbecue far and wide. Leave your suggestions and your comments down there. Let us know what you thought about this video. Suggestions for future videos we may shoot for you guys. So, let's talk a little bit about North Carolina barbecue sauce. We say sauce here, S-A-W-S-E. It's on our bottles here at the Redneck BBQ Lab. That's how we say it, sauce. That's what we grew up on. Sauce was something to us was vinegar. Did not know anything else was ketchup. The other brands that were out there, the KC Masterpieces and Hunt's, Heinz, whatever was out there, that was just some kind of fancy ketchup that people out in the Midwest put on stuff. In North Carolina, pork was and is king. We have a whole lot of farms here that provide a whole lot of resources to the world, not only to North Carolinians. And one of the big commodities that is produced here in North Carolina is the pig. And that's what we grew up on. We grew up on whole hog. Whole hog, you went to a funeral, there was a whole hog. You went to a wedding, there was a whole hog. A lot of times for holidays, there was a whole hog. Heck, it didn't really matter. You had a barbecue, it was a whole pig. And what they treated or put on the pig was North Carolina barbecue sauce. And North Carolina barbecue sauce, the origins of it go way back to our forefathers. Back when there wasn't any commercial refrigeration like we have now, the only ways to preserve things back in the day was salt and sugar. One of the other things that they had was vinegar that didn't spoil. And the pigs back in the day were a lot genetically disposed. They were, what's the word I'm looking for? They were built different back then than they were now. And what do I mean by them? Now our pigs have been built, they have been genetically engineered to be a lot leaner. They produce a lot more meat and less fat. Back in the older days, the pigs were very fat. When they were butchered, they were larger than the pigs are now. The pigs are a smaller pig. The fat back in the day was something that was very revered. It was very prized. It's what folks cooked with. It's what they used to make pies with. You know, it was something that they used to make soap with and candles and just right on down the line. The pig was a very important part of the diets of a lot of people, not only North Carolinians, but a lot of people up and down the East Coast that comprised the initial 13 colonies. So go back till then, you had this pig with a lot of fat in it, and you were cooking it and rendering it down, and there was a lot of fat in this meat, and you would eat it, and it was just really fatty and everything else. And somewhere along the way, it needed to be seasoned. Well, they had the salt and they had some pepper, and they could add that to it. But someone said, hey, let's put a little vinegar to it. Back then, little did we know that that was kind of what I call today the redneck Caesar salad dressing. You had that pork fat and you combined that vinegar. Usually it was a white vinegar. Sometimes it was apple cider vinegar, depending on where you were at. But when you combined it in the right ratios, it formed this emulsion that came together much like a Caesar salad dressing. So that was kind of the thing that added to the pig, that gave it a little bit of extra special flavor, and that's what's kind of been passed down for generations. You come to today, and our pigs are built leaner. You know, think about these are like marathon runners, where back in the days they were like the power lifters, you know. And these pigs are a lot leaner, there's a lot less fat, and therefore a lot of folks tend to stay away from the vinegar, and they look for more of a topical type coat to kind of go on it that doesn't really, because there's no fat for the vinegar to bind with, they use a more topical coat. Hence the sweet, the corn syrupy, the artificial smoke flavored barbecue sauces that are filled in our traditional shelves in our markets right now, supermarkets. So that's just a little history on the origins of the North Carolina barbecue. It's sauce, and the sauce is still alive and well today. We use it in the lab. We use it in competitions. It's one of those staples. We use it not only for pigs, we use it on shrimp. We use it for coleslaw, which is another one of the little traditional videos that you guys may be able to find here. Traditional North Carolina coleslaw, we use a little bit of that vinegar in it to give it a little acidity, a little background kick, as well as a little bit of that peppery punch that I think coleslaw needs. So the traditional barbecue sauce does still play a big part in North Carolina in terms of our sauces. So now that I've kind of bored you to death with the history and why we're making this barbecue sauce today, let me go ahead and show you how to make a traditional North Carolina barbecue sauce today. The basis for North Carolina barbecue sauce starts out with vinegar. This can be a white vinegar, or in this case, this is an apple cider vinegar that comes from our mountains here. And it's about 20 ounces, give or take, with this. This is what I'm putting in here. To this, the acidity of this is really low. It's very astringent right now. If you were just stick your finger in it, it's got that smell of apple cider, but it's got this like pucker of the astringency in it. So you need to dilute this a little bit more. We don't want to take it past the line where it becomes more alkaline. We want to keep it kind of acidic because, like I said, there is some fat in today's barbecue that this will combine with to make that redneck Caesar salad dressing. So the way we like to dilute it here at the lab is this is apple juice. You can use water, you can use pineapple, it won't be traditional North Carolina. You can use whatever component you want. But the thing is the basis for this barbecue sauce is a 50-50 ratio of vinegar to some kind of dilution component, this being, for this video purpose, apple juice. Go ahead and pour that in there. It's a 50-50, like I said. It's 20 ounces maybe. To this component, I like to add some additional ingredients that were found back in the day in North Carolina and are still available here. The first component that I would like to add to this is crushed red pepper. About, I don't know, teaspoon crushed red pepper. I've got a tablespoon of restaurant grade black pepper. Be very careful too about your black peppers. Spend the extra money for a quality black pepper that's got a larger grind. The smaller grinds that you find, the cheaper peppers, it's not, a lot of times it's just all pepper. It could be stalks, it could be stems or whatever, something that's fallen through the filtration process. The restaurant grade is the one that, or butcher's grade is the one that I typically like to use, and this is what this is. It's a restaurant grade. They do it through a sieve. That's a video right there, a YouTube video you guys can look up if you want to. One of the things that if we're sticking to a traditional North Carolina barbecue sauce, this would probably be the basis for it, along with this ingredient, a tablespoon of kosher salt. This would be the traditional basis of the back then North Carolina barbecue sauce. One of the things that I like to do is this sauce is very thin. It runs off meat. But when you combine it with that pork fat, it does emulsify and becomes a bit viscous, more thicker. And it's like I said, it helps stick to stuff, sticks to meat. I put it on chicken. We put it on shrimp. We like to, that's another video, but we like to boil shrimp and put barbecue sauce or kind of barbecue sauce on it. We like to grill chickens and put them into barbecue sauce, this North Carolina barbecue sauce, let them sit. And that's another video another time you guys may see shortly here in our summer series coming up. But anyway, this, folks, is pretty much what is a traditional North Carolina barbecue sauce. And as you can see, it's very thin. It's more of a dip. It's just something that just barely coats. But one of the things that I like to do to mine, and we like to do at the lab, is we add a little bit of brown sugar. What does the brown sugar do besides bring the obvious sweetness? Brown sugar has some molasses in it, and it gives kind of a background flavor. I love blackstrap molasses on biscuits and stuff like that. I use it in my my brisket video you guys may have seen before on this YouTube channel. If you have not seen what or how we use that blackstrap molasses, you may want to go there and check out this video here at our YouTube channel later on. But I like this sugar in here for that molasses, for that sweetness, but more importantly, this brown sugar goes in here and it'll start to thicken stuff up. It starts to, sugar and vinegar form what the French call a gastrique. And if you're unfamiliar what a gastrique is is that vinegar and that sugar combined together. I mean, that's pretty much the basis for ketchup. With this though, it's a lot less sugar. It'd be like a 1-to-1 ratio to make that true gastrique, that thick, viscous, liquidy stuff. Finally, the last thing that I like to add to the traditional North Carolina barbecue sauce, and this, let me just stop right here. There's this thing that we hear outside of North Carolina, and it's this divide. It kind of goes right down the middle of Eastern versus Western North Carolina barbecue sauce. And here's my take on it. It comes down to whether or not you have ketchup in your sauce. Ketchup. Ketchup. Remember what we were just talking about with sugar and vinegar thickening stuff up? Add a tomato component to it, and there you have Western North Carolina sauce. That's pretty much it. Put ketchup in here, you have a Western North Carolina sauce. You take it out, you have Eastern North Carolina sauce. My thing is, let's bring Eastern and Western together. Nothing better to do that is this right here. This right here is Texas Pete. And Texas Pete's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Yes, it's to the west, but God bless the people, the gardeners who started this. This is a cayenne pepper vinegar mixture that sat in barrels and fermented for a bit of time. It is one of the best things in the world, in my opinion, to put on pork. Pork sandwich, this, perfect. North Carolina barbecue sauce, I truly believe in my heart, Texas Pete should be in there. I put a little bit more in here probably than you may guys want. This sauce will, like a lot of my recipes, if you see me putting pepper in it, I like stuff spicy. I like stuff a little bit hot, as this. So, and voila. That's pretty much it. That is a traditional North Carolina barbecue sauce. What makes this better is two things. One is a good piece of pork to put it on that you've prepared in the barbecue, be it a whole hog or a pork shoulder. And the other thing that I truly believe in my heart is that this sauce should be made and put into a plastic. Do not put this in a reactive pan or a bowl like this, because there will be a reaction in there, a chemical reaction. But put this into a plastic jug, put this into your cupboard. You do not have to put this into a refrigerator because it's shelf stable, meaning bacteria cannot grow in this stuff. The acidity level is so low that they die. They cannot survive in it. Doesn't matter about the oxygen. But one of the things that I've found out over the years is that putting this into a cabinet and leaving it, and then coming back to it about a month later, everything just kind of blends together like a good sauce, like a good chili or a good spaghetti sauce. It all just kind of comes together and it sits, and you'll know when it's right. You'll know when it's right because you'll have these layers. And it'll start out that thin layer, that's that apple juice, and it'll go to that next layer will be that vinegar, and then finally down the bottom will be all this sediment of all this stuff we put in there that's kind of come together. So then what you do is you take it out of that plastic jug, you give it a good shake, you can put it into a squirt bottle, or like we do, we just take it right out of the jug and pour it all over the pig. So there you go, folks. That is a traditional North Carolina barbecue sauce. And I'm not calling it a dip, I'm calling it a sauce. Just because it isn't thick and sticky and gets all over me and stuff doesn't mean it's no more of a sauce than anything you find in Texas, anything you find out in Memphis or in Kansas City. This is North Carolina. So, there you have it. North Carolina barbecue sauce. Once again, I'm Jerry Stevenson, Chief Redneck in Charge at the Redneck BBQ Lab, McGee's Crossroad, Benson, North Carolina, here in the RBL studios with my friend Mike Baker from Event Webcasting, shooting you guys this YouTube channel series. This is part of our traditional North Carolina series we're doing. Bringing this to you. Hopefully you find it informative. If you do, please jump down there, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're already not a subscriber. Click on that bell too. That bell will let you know when future videos drop. When they drop, you'll be the first to know. And share this with your friends. Let's spread this gospel of barbecue. We're doing this for you guys. I mean, we're trying to give back the best we can. You've been so generous to us over the years, coming into the lab and sharing your passions, sharing your comments and all that. And that's why we're doing this, just for you guys, folks. So anyway, like I always say, please be kind, please smile. Let's pass around this positively. Let's start this revolution. Let's just create this better place for all of us. Love you guys. I will see you guys next time down the road somewhere.